And welcome back to the podcast. We're here today with Dale Hudson from IMEX America. She's the Knowledge and Events Director, and we've had Dale on a couple of times. We've talked about CSR and sustainability. We're now going to talk a bit more about the knowledge and education portion of IMEX America. So first of all, welcome to the show today.
Thank you, John. Nice to be with you again.
It's good to have you back, and we always appreciate being able to talk about some of the great stuff that IMEX is planning for 2013. And I know a number of things will be continuing from last year and the year before, and then there's some new offerings that we were going to touch upon today and just kind of give everybody a broad overview of what they can expect. First off, I know one of your big partners is MPI, and I know Smart Monday has been their kind of piece of IMEX that they've really built, and you've mentioned that they're working on some great keynotes again, and then going to have some good education for Smart Monday. I think there were some new features in that.
That's right, we are. We're working, I'll mention the partners to start with, because obviously Smart Monday wouldn't be what it is with our MPI obviously putting it together for us, and the other associations who contribute some great education,
right,
and really drive Smart Monday to be a full education day with a lot of new learnings. So we've got SITE who are coming to do some sessions, ISIS who are going to do some creative sessions, and last year we heard that the suppliers felt a little bit neglected on education. And we thought, well, why not have some for suppliers, of course, on Smart Monday, because
right,
that's when they might have a couple of hours, while they're building up stands to come and do a bit of education. So HSMAI are coming in to do some sessions
Excellent.
For them, and then GMIC are going to do some deep dives and another session on sustainability, which I think people will feel they can get some real engagement from and some
right.
knowledge.
Walk away with some real concrete ideas and things that they can bring to their shows.
That's exactly right. And then new as well for Smart Monday is IMEX is introducing 15 plus year deep dives for meeting agency owners, because we feel that often they don't, they don't have this deeper level of learning.
Right.
And there's a lot for association, there's a lot for corporate, but the agency owners don't often get that sort of that care and attention.
Right.
So we've got 3 deep dive sessions for them in the afternoon, and those will be looking at areas like succession planning, leadership and marketing, because those are the areas that I think sometimes when you're running a business, it's very difficult to keep your eye on all those other areas.
Right.
When it's a small business. So hopefully that will give some level of
support to those folks.
Yes.
Well, and something that I think really bears mentioning is the fact that all this comes with IMEX, which is free. And so if you think about coming to some of the industry events and coming to even local chapter events of different associations within the meetings industry, and the cost that you bear, to be able to come here and have all of this opportunity and all of this education in one place and not have to pay anything for it is phenomenal. It's really amazing that you've been able to pull that off.
Well, I think that it's really important that everybody should be able to get some level of education and knowledge in their career growth. And I think that people in this industry feel very much the same way as I do. And we're all people that like to continue to learn. I don't think that there is anyone in this industry who's ever happy just to sit and sort of think,
Absolutely.
It's done now.
Right.
I think we're always looking for something new, something to change, something to be better. And I think to be able to offer education and these different types of sessions, short sessions, longer sessions, is very important to fit into people's day and allow them to get that little bit of inspiration while they're doing business.
Well, and that was something too, when you're saying, the longer sessions and the shorter sessions. I know that through the show you have a lot of the research pods and the networking hubs and some of these new things too that you're bringing more and more into. So are there some of those that you'd like to talk about?
Yes, that's right. One of the areas that we had some feedback from exhibitors and mainly actually from the buyers, was that they felt that they would love to have somewhere on the show floor just to meet up with people, to just, to have an area. To interact with their peers and to meet friends and new people and that sort of thing. So what we've introduced this year to the show floor is the networking hub.
Okay.
And within the networking hub, we will be doing a lot of sessions that help people to to
connect and
interact
network.
and connect with each other. That's right. So we'll be have a ball session which looks at sort of igniting your creativity, but it's very interactive. And Second City have agreed to come and do that for us.
Nice.
And then we've also got some yoga sessions, obviously for business attire. So stretching, yoga, just so you can get that little bit of an energizer throughout the day. And we'll probably be having those about 2 or 3 times a day. And then we have a great company coming to do some games
interactive
for us.
games.
Yes, so Ria will be coming to do that for us, and she'll be helping people to sort of sort things out in their mind through games. And I think that that's kind of a fun, interactive thing to look at. And the other area will be hot topics. So this will not be led in any way. We won't have someone just speaking to you. It will be a place where there'll be a facilitator. We'll set a topic that's very relevant in the industry at the moment, and people can come and talk to each other in small groups about the subject, and it gives them that opportunity within their program to program that in, to just come and have these discussions that they feel are important to them.
Brilliant.
So that would be sort of a little bit like the research that PCMA are doing, sort of salaries within the industry, men and women, the differences. And so they are a little bit hot, but it's something that I think needs to be discussed and opened up and made a little bit more transparent in our industry. And it's important at a place like IMEX that people feel free to do that, and they can come and talk to their peers about those subjects. And then also just, trends in the industry. That's very important. Global synergies are helping us with that. So they'll be looking at, where are we going? And again, it's just the opportunity for people to talk to each other about these things and not just sit and absorb.
Listen to someone lecture them.
Yes, that's
and,
it.
And I think that's a key thing that people are observing in the different learning styles and the different ways that people take in information. And it feels very much like IMEX has recognized that, and you're trying to offer a number of different styles. So, if you want to have this peer-to-peer interaction and you want to have your say and kind of talk about it, you can go over here to this networking hub. And if you want to go to Smart Monday and you want to hear a topic expert talk about an area and maybe do a Q&A at the end, you can do that. So the ways that people like to learn, you've given them choices.
That's right, and we'll still have our inspiration center, which has the campfires and the theatre session. So that will still be offered.
Right.
Then new on the show floor again will be the tech hub, and that will be really focusing on technology. The app bar, which helps you learn how to use your app in a more effective way. And Miguel will talk a little bit more about the technology side of things, but all of these things are new to the show floor, so people can dip in and dip out with their appointments, because that's the idea, is being able to allow people half-hour slots to get a bit of learning, a bit of inspiration, then do the business that they're there to do and that they want to do while they're at IMEX.
Well, that's it's terrific that you've given people the flexibility and such a way that they can fit that together. Because I've often heard at other shows the complaint of, there are things going on and I can't go experience that because I have to be here, and those types of things. And I think that recognition
we still have a bit of that, John. I'm not saying we've alleviated the problem. It will always be that people's days are full. But I just hope that this allows them to fit it in as much as they possibly can. But, everybody knows the reason people come to IMEX is to do business.
Right.
And so we have to stay true to that goal, and then just try and offer as much inspiration around that as we possibly can.
And having so many great partners to do that with, I know, is it's funny, because when I first heard of IMEX a few years ago and heard of it coming, I wasn't really sure how to wrap my head around it. And I think there are still a lot of people who might have that issue, and hopefully things like the podcast can help them to understand it a little bit better. But it's, to me, just phenomenal the team you've been able to build. And all of these different organizations, ISIS and SITE and MPI, and having HSMAI all come together and offer an offering where everybody across the industry can experience a little bit of each of those partners.
I think it's incredible, and I mean, IMEX is truly grateful to all the associations, all the suppliers we work with. We have had so much support in Vegas. It's been unbelievable. So without all these partnerships and without these collaborations, none of this would be possible. So we're hugely grateful.
Well, it's a wonderful opportunity for people to come out. I really hope that people take advantage of it, because it's such a great experience and opportunity. I've been to the first two of them myself, and I really have it circled on the calendar now. I mean, I pretty much know that in October I want to try and be at IMEX, because there's just too much there to experience to not to miss it.
That's great news. I love to hear that, obviously.
So we appreciate you guys very much too. As you know, as we've said before, we're partners with IMEX now as well on the podcast, and just having the opportunity to talk about it and really experience it deep with you guys and know what's coming up is tremendous. Thank you so much for being on and talking to us today.
It's a pleasure. Thank you, John.
And we'll look forward to talking to you maybe again before, but certainly at IMEX, which is in October of 2013. And hopefully we'll see everyone there. So thank you, Dale.
Thank you.